Thank you for joining us for another episode of Extinction Dialogues, in which we unpack evidence and various attempts to argue with the evidence, mostly using nonsense. In today's episode, I'm going to read an email message, as I almost always do, and then I'm going to respond. Dear Dr. McPherson, I love the way this one starts. And then it's clear why he starts this way. I've been aware of your work for some time. I'm a PhD here in California. In fact, he's a faculty member in the state of California. A few years ago, I wrote a chapter about global warming in a text. I was mainly interested in patterns of denial. Harbinger. But as the science got worse, my interest gained momentum. Just last week, the World Meteorological Association said the planet warmed 0.2 degrees Celsius in just 4 years. At that rate, we will hit 1.5 degrees of warming by 2027. Calamity. Wait a minute. We're at 1 3/4 at least, based on evidence that was put together a couple of years ago. So, at that rate, we will hit 1.5 degrees of warming by 2027. Calamity. Yeah. 2 degrees by 2036. Catastrophe. How about by the end of this year, perhaps? In light of the expected strong El Nino Southern Oscillation that could well take us over 2 degrees by the end of this year, 2020. And 3 degrees by 2055. Holocaust. 3 degrees by 2055. I could only wish that that would happen. We are on track for 3 degrees far, far sooner than 2055, and that will take us well beyond the highest temperature ever experienced by humans on Earth. In fact, we're already there. At 1 3/4 degrees, we're at the highest temperature experienced by humans on Earth, according to a 2017 paper by James Hansen and colleagues. He goes on, as the science got more radical, so did I. Wait. You're talking about we might at some day get to 1.5 degrees above the 1750 baseline, a number we eclipsed years ago, and you're radical? Unfortunately, I wrote a book that looks more like a scholarly manifesto for Extinction Rebellion than a polite New York Times offering. And then he includes the name of the book. A scholarly manifesto for Extinction Rebellion, if that isn't a contradiction of terms. One of the recommendations, for example, is a United Nations occupation of the Amazon basin to remove all commercial activity, put out all the fires, to hold it as an international protectorate in perpetuity as it is reforested. This is radical. The remedies described may seem extreme, but they are also entirely rational. Since I'm a psychologist, I did not feel that confident about reporting on all the climate science. Yeah, that's why you think we're not at 1.5 degrees above the 1750 baseline yet. So I had the text reviewed and edited by 3 climate specialists. Apparently every one of them missed these critical points that are just absolutely incorrect. But I'm afraid the book is just too radical to interest a mainstream publisher. No, I think it starts with a bunch of lies that mainstream publishers, being in the corporate world, would love to continue promulgating. I'm seeking short review endorsements from respected people in the field, people I respect. And so he wanted me to take a look at the synopsis and a sample chapter in case I could recommend the book. And I wrote back to him and told him that I couldn't provide a positive review because he was promulgating the lie that is hope, the mistake that is hope, and also using ancient information that just continues to suggest that there are lots of things we can do to improve the situation. As I've pointed out repeatedly over the course of the last several years, we are in the midst, not at the beginning, not at some distant point in the future. We are in the midst of abrupt, irreversible climate change. We are in the midst, not at the beginning, not in some far-off future. We are in the midst of a mass extinction event. Continuing to promulgate through the corporate media these ideas that we just need to turn off the light bulbs and increase fuel efficiency is just going to further confuse the masses when we've already triggered dozens of self-reinforcing feedback loops, when we have already promulgated an enormous level of global dimming or the aerosol masking effect. And almost everybody continues to deny that those things are important. And by writing books like this, they will continue to get the idea that we can fix this, whatever this is. Join us again next time for another episode of Extinction Dialogues, in which we continue to unpack the silliness sent my way.